Rock stars. There's literally nothing like those wild parties. All I did was drink and party and go to rock concerts.
So I got VIP access to a certain very hot rock star's room.
This was getting a little intense for my liking.
What's your problem?
Okay.
Look, bitch, I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you're no better than the rest of us.
Hey, come on, you gotta go. I'll call you.
Hey, what would you say if I were to tell you that rock stars like Terry would pay for your attention and you would be a multi-millionaire because of it?
Real Talk.
Hey, I'm Gina Lou, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's Logan Browning, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Real Talk.
Hi, this is Alana De La Garza, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, I'm Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. You're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, this is Monique Capri, and you are watching Real Talk with the Director on Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, I'm Stormy Maya, and you are listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
This is Vicky Judy. Orange is the new black, and I'm here with Real Talk.
Yo, what up? This is Jay Ellis, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio. Keep it locked.
Hi, I'm Trina Parks. You're listening to Real Talk Radio with the Director. Hey, I'm Issa Rae, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
And nothing less. What's going on? Welcome to another edition of Real Talk with the Director and the Jedi Council. I'm the Director. We'll be with you for the next 120 minutes or so. And Real Talk is brought to you each and every Monday by B2S Media. We broadcast live via the World Wide Web on YouTube, via IE Network TV, and Facebook, the social network, aka Meta. And Twitter, of course. So, today's another Monday. It's the 14th. It is March 14th, excuse me. And yeah, man, so a few things been going on. We're back with you after taking off a week. And a lot of things was happening since then. Last time we were talking to you, we talked about the SAG Awards. Since then, I think the BAFTA awards or whatever that is, or festival, has happened. We'll run down a couple of the winners, a list of the winners there. Of course, The Batman has premiered and it's sweeping its way through the theaters. It has had a great release. We'll talk about that in just a moment. And yeah, there's some other things going on. A few things that's happened since we've been gone. So we will try to check that out. We have a special guest co-host tonight. So and I'll be bringing her on shortly. As you know, we've been, for the last month and a half, almost 2 months, we've been on a search for a female co-host. So because we've been doing that, we've been having a lot of guest female co-hosts come on and, help us host the show. So, almost every week for the last month and a half, we've had another lovely young woman come on and just help us out, man, and talk movies, kick it with us. So we have another one tonight. And we hope to keep that going. It's pretty appropriate. Isn't this like National Women's Month or something like that? So, should be appropriate for that. It should be fun. So we will we'll get started. And I'm not sure if my Jedi Council is going to join me today. Ralph, I believe, is in Vegas. And Kev, he usually pops up every, whenever. So Let's get started with the show. We'll start as always with the box office numbers, courtesy of boxofficemojo.com. The weekend of March 11th through the 13th. Of course, The Batman this week, of course, again was took the top spot, and it is now with 66 million. It is now at 239 million domestic, 465 million worldwide. So not bad. It's only like its second week. So that's not bad at all for a second week. It looks like, but the funny thing is, I'll talk a little bit about this too. It almost seems like there was an article I was reading about how the box office still, pre-pandemic hasn't gotten back to how it was pre-pandemic, post-pandemic. Whereas, because some people, the question is, are we still in the pandemic? Is it over? Is it, so, but it seems like these superhero comic book films, these big films like that, they still make the money, man. They still get the people out. So number 2 in the box office was Uncharted. Big drop big difference. 66 million for the Batman, 9.3 million for Uncharted. That is also at 300 million worldwide. That had a slow start too. That's the film that's starring what's his name again? I forget his name. Spider-Man, Peter Parker. I forget. So he's the one who is obviously the star of the film. But it had a pretty slow start. But it's starting to pick up a little bit. We have coming in at number 3, BTS Permission to Dance on Stage. Seoul live viewing. Oh, interesting. I've never heard of this, but this film made $6 million domestically, 32 million worldwide. And we have Dog. That's the film starring Channing Tatum. It's now at 47 million domestic and it's 54 million worldwide. The film's been out for a little bit now. It's like I said, it's these other films are just not cutting it, at the box office. And speaking of Spider-Man, what do you know? Spider-Man No Way Home happened to stay in the top 5, made another $4.1 million, and it's now at over $1 billion, at $1.8 billion worldwide. It's almost going to hit $1 billion domestically. It hit $1 billion already internationally. It's at 792 million domestically. So it may not hit the billion there, but still worldwide it's made over $1 billion. So, and it officially a couple of weeks ago passed Avatar as like the highest making or whatever. So there you have it. That is the top 5 films in the box office for the week of March 11th to the 13th, courtesy of boxofficemojo.com. So there you have it. We like I said earlier at the top of the show, we have a guest, in pursuit of our female host, we're bringing another guest on, and I'm going to bring this young lady. She's going to jump right on with me, and we're going to, talk some shop here. She is a singer. She is an actress, performer. So let's bring her on. Nana's in the building. What's up?
What's up? Thank you for having me, Lewis.
Little cheers. Little applause. Let's give her a little applause.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. And I have to say, now you're in Denmark, right?
Yes.
Okay, I have to put this out there because you get kudos already. Because how far ahead is Denmark's time from, I'm in Florida, so.
Yeah.
What time is it there right now?
It's 2:10 in the morning.
It is 2:10 a.m. in Denmark right now. And here she is with us giving you her time, giving us our time. So we appreciate her. Let's give her another round of applause for that. Most definitely. We appreciate you taking the time and taking time out of your sleep to join us. So welcome.
Thank you so much. I've been
Good.
looking
So
forward to it.
we got a lot of movie stuff to talk. That's what it's all about. That's why it's real talk, REEL.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot that went on this last couple of weeks. We start with first of all, did you get a chance to see the Batman? I see that a lot of people did. I don't know, a lot of people still haven't. That's the scary part.
Yeah. Actually, I haven't
Have
seen it
not?
yet.
Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
get there's a lot of people that have not, but I hear it's pretty good. I haven't seen it yet either, which is weird because I usually but I'm a little I just got over COVID not that long ago, so I'm just like a
Damn.
little trigger shy right now. So I'm just like, "Oh, okay, I don't
Yeah.
want to. I don't really go, but
Fragile.
actually, this is probably the best time to go out and do stuff when you first get over COVID because like your antibodies are up in there,
Yeah. Did you feel like
protecting
you
you.
had like a FOMO when you had the
Uh,
COVID?
well, no, I was like actually didn't have really crazy symptoms of COVID, but I ended up getting pneumonia at the same time. So which
Oh.
it kind of led to me getting pneumonia, but I didn't have a lot of I didn't like lose my taste or anything like that or smell. Like I didn't have nothing. I had the Omicron. Yeah, I think I had the
Yeah.
Omicron version
Yeah.
variant of it. So
Same.
anyhow, so I've been staying put. So I haven't went anywhere. But
Yeah.
I will go see the Batman because usually what I do because when I went to see Spider Man, um, I bought two seats. That's what I did. I bought a seat at the end, and then I bought the
Yeah.
seat next to me because I didn't want nobody sitting next to me. So
Oh.
I bought two
That's a
seats.
smart move.
Yeah, that's what I did. And, and
Yeah.
and I was in the back, so there was no one behind me, no one to
Mm.
the right of me, no one to the left of me. And the
Sounds
closest person to me
expensive
was
though.
yeah, well, I mean I only ended up buying because I usually go to early shows. So the
Mm.
early shows you're discounted. So let's just say if a regular show is $20, an early show might be $10.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
okay, I'll pay the same price I would have paid for one seat if I would have went later that night. So I go to the
Yeah.
early show, get two seats. I'm like I said, I'm in the back. I'm on the
Yeah.
end, so I don't have anybody around me. That's I felt comfortable and it worked out for me. So that's what I'm
Okay.
gonna do when I go see the Batman. And I
That's a good
already have
idea.
someone gave me a gift card for AMC, so I'm just gonna use that. So it's not gonna really cost me nothing. I
Yeah.
just use the gift
Okay.
card. So that's my plan. I just
That's
haven't
a
put
good
it into
plan.
effect yet. I'm in the middle of planning a feature film right now, and so I
Okay.
just
That's exciting.
yeah, it's a lot of work. So I haven't been able to get out. I've been on there. Speaking of which, let's just talk before we get into talk about the topics of today. Let's talk a little about you.
Yeah.
Um, tell us a little bit about your singing career that you got.
Well, I've been releasing music as Lotus Noir for the past 5 years, and
Hmm.
I have been producing 90% of every release myself, and I'm also a songwriter.
Okay.
So I would say that I've been a very independent artist doing kind of everything myself, getting contacts and evolving and
Hmm.
expanding and everything. But my genre is mainly R&B,
Hmm.
very inspired by the 90s
Oh,
kind of
nice.
universe. Yeah, especially D'Angelo, Erykah Badu.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I've just been releasing music for 5 years now, and it's been going pretty good. Yeah,
Well, that's awesome. I
yeah,
put
still working
your
on the music.
yeah. No, most
Yeah.
definitely. Follow her. That's the I am right. That's your IG, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
my
there you go. Y'all
Instagram.
follow her
Yeah,
over there in IG. When you get an
I appreciate
opportunity.
it.
What drives you to make you write your music, like the stuff that you have? What I know you said you're inspired by the '90s and Erica Badu. She's one of your
Yeah.
favorite artists, Erica Badu. I could hear a little of that in you too when I was listening to your stuff. That's cool.
Oh,
That's one of my
that's
favorite
good.
artists. I
Yeah.
followed her when she first came out, and I was so into her. I still am, but she was one of my favorite, or is one of my favorite artists. Is
Yeah.
Erica Badu.
So original, I think.
Yeah, she's very
Yeah.
original. Very.
Yeah.
What other thing? What type of things drive you? Like when you write a song, what inspires you to write a song?
Just life in general,
Yeah.
experiences from especially like being a woman and being mixed race, growing up, experiencing racism, the kind of emotion you go through and still are, has always been like a loophole for me to express myself, my emotions. So I've been using music to like kind of express myself,
Yeah.
not in a bad way, but like kind of, my passion and the strength in me has been coming through my voice
Yeah.
because of those experiences. So for me, it's like therapy and so natural to me. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Also, we're gonna get back to that what you said about experience and racism. A lot of times, I mean, obviously, if you're a person who's never really left America, sometimes Americans think America is the only place racism really exists. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's just everywhere. I mean, we all know that. Not everyone, but some people do act like that, like they don't realize it. So the fact that you
Yeah.
say you experiencing racism and stuff, and are you from Denmark or you just live there now? Is that where
I
you're
was
from?
born in Denmark. I
You were
was
born in
born in
Denmark.
Denmark. Yeah, my
Okay.
mom is Danish and my dad is from Guinea, West Africa.
Oh wow.
So, yeah.
Oh,
So,
that's
but I grew
that's
up with, yeah,
wow, that's
Danes
awesome.
and yeah. Yeah.
Freaking, oh wow, that's a nice combination. Really cool. Really,
I
I love
guess.
it. Hey, hey, it's all it's beautiful to have these combinations because then I wasn't sure that was gonna be one of my questions was what was your background or your ethnicity.
Yeah.
I was gonna try to guess because
I'm used to that, like,
yeah.
yeah,
What do you
weekly
what do
basis.
you just for fun? Just for fun, what do you get a lot? Do you get like Filipina or anything like that? Like what do you get? When people ask
Asian.
you, Asian,
Asian.
right?
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
like the first thing. Are you some kind of Asian?
Yeah, yeah,
And
Asian. Yeah,
yeah,
I would have probably said I probably would have said Filipina. That's probably what I would have said.
yeah,
Filipina. Yeah, or you
I've
like
heard that before.
I probably would have said that.
Brazilian.
That's why I don't like to guess.
Yeah.
Brazilian, yeah, and I can see
Brazilian, yeah.
Brazilian.
African American
Hmm.
also. Yeah, and yeah, it's just like a mix of everything, I guess. I get it. It's kind of hard to like, see like because I feel like I can look Asian in some way, but at the
Hmm.
same time, I look, you know, I'm from West Africa, but I don't
Hmm.
know. I'm just me.
It's just you. That's all that
Yeah,
matters. You're a human.
yeah,
You're a human being, and you're an
yeah,
artist. And I know you said
yeah,
you also do some acting as well, which is something you're interested in, right?
yeah, very much.
Okay.
I feel like it's very close to when I sing, like the same emotions of expressing yourself in a way.
Hmm.
And it's always been like music or acting for me. So I'm just trying to do both.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet, but it's like I can feel it's something that I really want to do. So
Hmm. That's
yeah,
good. Well,
yeah,
yeah, you got it. They go hand in hand. So they really
yeah,
are very close to each other. I mean, I used to be before I got into filmmaking. I was a producer. That's what I did. I made
yeah,
music. I was a musician. So, I used to make hip hop beats and produce hip hop and R&B tracks and stuff like that.
yeah,
But it was before I actually drifted off into the filmmaking, but at the same time, what was similar is your storytelling, right?
Yeah.
You're telling a
Yeah.
story. Like when you write a
True.
song, you're storytelling. That's still telling a story. When you
Yeah.
write a film, you're storytelling. So
Yeah.
it's pretty much, in that aspect, they're the same. And you just, it's just little details. Everything else is
Yeah.
details.
That's
So,
true.
but like you said about the racism. So, what type of racism? I mean, as a comparison, right? Because we here in America, we got racism. It's going to probably lead us into our first topic that we're going to talk about
Yeah.
is Rayn Coogler, who is the director. He is a film director. He's most famous director for, or most famously known for directing Black Panther,
Yeah.
the film Creed, the Creed films, Fruitvale Station. So here we go. So Rayn Coogler goes into a Bank of America
Yeah.
where he banks, and he
Obviously.
goes in
Yeah.
and he's wearing, mask for COVID, like
Hmm.
everyone does around here, and
Yeah.
he had on like a hat and some sunglasses or whatever, and he goes to withdraw. He wants to withdraw $12,000 cash from his account.
Hmm.
For whatever reason, it's his money, right? So,
Yeah.
but what he does is he asks the teller. She asks for his card. He puts his card in the ATM at the teller.
Yeah.
He gives her the ID, his ID, and he writes on the slip how much he wants, and he asks her to be discreet about it because he doesn't want her to count the money out in the open because he don't want
Mm.
people to see him walking out of there with $12,000 cash.
Yeah. That's a lot of
And
money.
then let's not forget he's in Atlanta, Georgia.
Mm.
There's no joke over there. So, he's instantly a mark if he if people know this. So he tells her to be discreet. The cashier or the teller then goes and I guess she gets nervous. She goes and calls 911. She talks to her manager, and then they call 911. The 911 call was released. TMZ released it. If I find it, I'll play it. But they released the call, and it basically says, the 911 operator saying, well, she said that she think that this guy's trying to rob the bank, and the 911 call said, well, did you check his ID? Did you verify who he was? And she said, no, actually didn't even look at it. I was so nervous. I just went and talked to my manager. And so she didn't verify his identity. And it's laughable because it's just so ridiculous. Next,
Yeah.
there's body cam footage of Rayn Coogler being with the cops showed up, and they're basically, they're rolling up on him with their guns drawn, and it's like, whoa, where did this come from? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So he's baffled. He's dumbfounded. He doesn't know what's going on. And meanwhile, the cops pull him outside, and he goes over this whole thing, and it's just like, wow, it's just so. He's just like, why am I here?
Yeah.
But the cops, not only did they detain him, they cuffed him. They they detained everyone that was in his car waiting for him, which was really crazy as well. And I just thought that this was just so ridiculous,
Yeah.
and I was trying to
Oh
look for
my
the
God.
video because they have like the body cam video
Yeah.
of when they pulled up on them, and these are the people, I guess, waiting for him. Yeah, they got all of this stuff. It's just so bad that this went down the way it went down, and it's clearly. So when they cleared it up, long story
Yeah.
short, it gets cleared up. He's telling them, they have him handcuffed. He's telling them, he had a work badge on his hip, because let's remind you people, he's still shooting Black Panther Part 2 right now in Atlanta. That's what he's doing. So he's in the middle of, that's why he's in Atlanta. He's not from Atlanta. He's
Yeah.
from the West Coast, you know.
Yeah.
He's in Atlanta shooting Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which is also known as Black Panther Part 2.
Yeah.
So they pull his badge, and he's like, that badge will tell you everything you need to know about me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he said, and if you don't know what my name is, put it in Google. And so after they, long story short, after they supposedly start clearing things up, they uncuff him, and they're trying to explain to him why he's like, listen, I don't understand how anyone would think I'm trying to rob a bank that I have an ATM card of. I gave him my ID. He just explains everything.
Yeah.
Just,
it's so the normal way to do it. Yeah.
no way to
yeah.
do things. And
Yeah.
they're asking him questions, I guess, like why he's taking out that much money, which is none of their business. I mean, he explained to them anyway. He said, he said something about he has like a physical therapist or whatever that's his house or whatever that he hired, and they like to be paid in cash. So he's paying this physical therapist in cash, and that's why he said he's never had this issue before, taking out money. And I just thought, it's become a big thing, and everyone, like I said, the cops detained the people that was with him, waiting for him in the car.
Wow.
And it was just such a mess. So the bottom line is this. Now, Bank of America is, in my opinion, is known for stuff like this, because my brother actually went through a similar situation where he was actually trying to deposit a check in his account.
Yeah.
Bank of America. It was a large check. It was actually, I believe it was actually more than the 12,000 that he was trying to take out, but it was depositing it. It was actually money that we got when our mother passed away. So it was like a certified bank check.
Yeah.
You from another bank that you're trying to deposit in his bank account. And they gave him, he was there for about an hour. We were sitting there for an hour. He's inside. I'm like, what's going on? And they said to him, ultimately, they gave him all types of questioning and this and that and the other. And at the end of the day, the manager of the bank said that she didn't feel comfortable depositing this check in his account. Mind you, it's not like he's trying to open an account with them. He already had an account.
Yeah.
And it's not like he had $0 in his account. He had money in his account. So it's like, and she says she doesn't feel comfortable with him depositing that large sum of money.
Wow.
Like, she just,
what does that even mean?
Yeah. What does that mean? You're a bank.
Yeah.
Like, you're basically saying, no, black man, I don't want your money. That's basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
And it was really, really, so immediately my brother closed his account and took all his money out.
Yeah.
That moment, went to another bank. It was immediately able to deposit the check. I think it might have been Chase or something. And I'm just like, wow. I hope Rayn Coogler does the same thing. I hope he takes all his money out of that Bank of America and close his account, because they're not worthy of his account. Because if you're gonna come and treat your customers like that without even giving the benefit of the doubt, and it's not like you had to doubt anything, you didn't have to guess anything. The man gave you his ID and his ATM card. The only thing she may have wanted to do, being that he had a mask on, she could have easily asked him, could you remove your mask for a moment just so I can verify your picture on your license with your face? And he would have gladly did that, because that's for your own protection, right? So he would have gladly did that. But instead, the reason why we're even talking about this, because what people don't understand, especially being a black man and in America,
Yeah.
almost anywhere, but I only speak for being in America.
Yeah.
And in the times that we're living in right now, people don't even realize how much danger he really was in.
Mm.
This teller, who, in my opinion, she overreacted. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
She was scared. And it wasn't, when I say by racial profiling, I mean by Bank of America and their policies. Because the
Yeah.
woman who was the bank teller, I'm told, was black. So it wasn't like it was like a white woman that was scared of him because he was black.
Okay.
But I'm thinking, and this is just purely my opinion, right? I'm
Mm.
thinking that this woman, in her mind, because she works for this bank, is probably thinking, oh man, if he's trying to rob the bank and I don't say nothing, they're going to think I'm in on it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That's what I'm
Oh.
thinking. Not making an excuse for her because she didn't do her job properly. She overreacted. But
Yeah.
I believe, and I'm sure soon this woman will probably come out with her side of the story. I
Yeah.
won't be surprised if the manager told her to call 911, but she went
Yeah.
to the manager because she was afraid. She didn't know what to do. I don't know. She
Oh
must
my
watch too
God.
many movies or something. Like she saw him, with the glasses on and the mask, but the mask is normal. Everybody's wearing masks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's normal now. He had the sunglasses on, but he's trying to be discreet because, he's pretty much a celebrity. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
not everybody's gonna know him by face, because he's a behind the cameras guy. So not
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody's gonna know him by face, but some people will recognize him, and especially if
Yeah.
they see them counting out $12,000 for him to
Yeah.
take cash. They're gonna
Yeah.
look at his face and be like, "Oh, that's the guy who directed." Plus, we know everyone in Atlanta knows, that Black Panther's being filmed in Atlanta. So,
Yeah.
it's not people in Atlanta, especially the black people of Atlanta,
Yeah.
they'll recognize
Yeah.
Ryan Coogler. So
I've
I think
I've
she
heard.
made a mistake, huh?
Yeah. I've heard that Atlanta is the black Mecca. Is that the
Yeah.
right
Yeah,
word?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it has
Yeah.
become that, because
Yeah.
a lot of black businesses,
Yeah.
uh, a lot of black businesses have, really kind of thrived there. And then the
Yeah.
filming, it's really now becoming a film hub now of,
Yeah.
it's becoming, I call it New Hollywood because it's like the
Wow.
East Coast Hollywood now because all the
Yeah.
big productions are filming there, at Tyler Perry Studios.
Yeah.
They're filming right there on his studio lot. Black Panther's filming on Tyler Perry Studios.
Yeah.
There's
Wow.
been a couple of Marvel films that's filmed there. Spider-Man was
Yeah.
filmed there. So
Okay.
yeah, so it's big money making films in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And this, that's why Ryan Coogler's there, but just by him being there, it's I don't know. I think it's very unfortunate. I hope he, at the very least takes all his money out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but what I really mean, the seriousness behind it is that man could have very well been shot by those cops because these
Yeah.
cops today are they're so I don't know what you want to call them, trigger happy, whatever you want to call them. Some of them is
Yeah.
from them being scared. Some
Yeah.
of them are just for other reasons. Sometimes they're
Yeah.
just a little bit
Power.
overzealous.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
power struck,
Yeah.
overzealous, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
They all have their reasons,
Mm.
and they don't. A lot of people don't. I think a lot of people overlooking the seriousness of this incident. The
Yeah.
fact that the young woman, and like I said, I don't want to put all the blame on her, but the fact that the young woman, the teller,
Mm.
didn't really thoroughly do her job because she should have checked his ID, you
Yeah.
know, because she
Yeah.
didn't thoroughly do his job. It's very possible that she could have got him killed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It's
if he
so
would, if he
scary to
would,
think about.
yeah, it's so scary.
Yeah.
If he would have reacted in a different way,
Yeah.
Even if he was just surprised and he would have turned around suddenly,
Yeah.
they might have shot him right there
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
bank, you know. So it's
And
just
that's the
good.
difference of seeing like I haven't experienced myself being in America at all, but I know if a white man was like, "No, what are you doing? Like, take
Yeah,
your hands off me. Like,
yeah,
let
it's
me
always like
explain."
that.
You know, being like using body language to express
Hmm. There's been plenty of times.
the difference. It's crazy, and it makes me sick to and angry
It
to think
does.
about. That is, yeah,
It makes us all angry. There's plenty,
yeah,
just like what you're talking about. There's plenty of times where
yeah.
a white suspect, even if they were guilty of doing what they did, would
Mm.
react a different way. They'd react like, "Oh my, what are you doing? What are you?" And like you said, and they might even be angry, mad,
Yeah,
"Don't touch me," whatever,
yeah,
and really in their definition, the police definition, resisting arrest. Like Rayn
yeah.
Coogler was very, he didn't say anything. He was very, calm about it. He was, scared. You know,
Probably because he knows the consequences.
he knows the
Yeah,
consequences of even because then there's a part where they're talking to him
yeah,
um out there and they've already uncuffed him and stuff like that, and he's trying to explain to them his feeling from his perspective, and he's getting all their badge numbers and stuff like that.
yeah,
And they even was trying to like almost seem like they were looking for him to get angry or upset. He's like talking passionately. He's not yelling at them. He's not whatever. He's talking. I mean, of course, he's angry that he had to
yeah,
go through this, but he's
yeah,
talking and he's cursing, whatever. They're like, "Oh, calm down," and it's just like, wait a minute, I'm not even. I'm not. It's nothing for me to calm down. It's like they're looking for a reason
yeah,
to get
yeah,
violent with them. So it's just
exactly.
it's sickening. It's very sickening. And I wanted
Yeah,
so racist, and we already know about that, but I wanted to talk about from your perspective, like in Denmark.
yeah,
You did say that you experienced, racism and stuff like that. So
yeah,
like, what is maybe we can kind of compare or whatever, and just kind of like how's the racism over there? Because I know one of my friends from Europe, from like
yeah,
over there, they were like, "Yeah, racism's pretty bad there too." When
yeah,
it comes to certain things, I was like,
yeah.
"This?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Man, I'm just going by what I see on TV." I'm like, "Man, it looks like y'all all get along." And it's like, they're
I
like,
wish.
they're like, no. So
No.
what do you from your perspective?
I think that's interesting because you thinking that it's not as bad because what you see like in movies, but
Hmm.
we are, we really are a minority in Europe because we are not that many. So
Mm.
I think for me, I'm feeling very exposed living in Denmark because I don't see a lot of people looking like me.
Mm.
So it is, I think it's hard to like compare the two, America and Europe. I remember being in New York
Hmm.
actually, and I was at this club in Harlem, and I was with my friend who is Caucasian, and she was the only white woman, and the bartender was also a white woman. But
Hmm.
otherwise, it was all black people. And
Mm.
she told me, "Wow, Nana, okay, now I understand how you feel living in Denmark." And it was just like, it was odd to like, it must have been art for her to see it through my eyes, but that is like everyday life for me, feeling exposed, feeling different, feeling like I'm inside to be pointed out because of my color, being judged because of my color. And I think that it's just an ongoing thing. For me, it was worse than I was like a child and couldn't like stand up for myself the way I know how to now. But it's still happening, definitely still happening. So yeah, and I know my friends who are also mixed of black experiences too, especially men. It's worser for men. Yeah.
Yeah, I can
So
imagine, man. It's just
yeah.
it's really. So you said that like so in Denmark, it's not really a large population of black folk, basically.
Yeah. I don't know how many, but it's a
But
small percentage.
small
Yeah.
percentage, yeah. Now,
Yeah.
do you typically like in most other countries and other places, are they kind of like in the same areas? Is it like a black area of in Denmark that where you go to and you know you're pretty much going to see black people, or
Yeah.
not even
Yeah.
that? Yeah. Okay.
There
Okay.
is.
Yeah, they usually put
And
us all in the same area,
yeah.
so they know
And
where to
that
find
is
us.
and that is what we call the ghetto here in
Yeah,
Denmark.
exactly.
So I
Right.
guess that we have in common. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the funny thing is, that's a whole nother story to get into. But it's just I see all around the world they have the same mentality
Mm.
to kind of herd us all together, where
Yeah.
they know where we are, and then usually it's in
Yeah.
areas it's not great, but and then you got areas that when you're trying to buy something, a house or something like that or whatever. But neither here nor
Yeah.
there. This Ryan Coogler, like I said, the Ryan Coogler situation, I think, is just really, it definitely is racial profiling, not per se on the girl herself, but
Mm.
on the Bank of America.
Yeah.
There's a photo of him there,
Wow.
being detained. That's when he was detained, and the cops are there talking to him. He's pulled out
Wow.
there, and he's just sitting in the back of the car. Here's like parts right here, people that was with him that was being detained. This is all body cam footage. That's the guy who was in the car waiting for him.
Oh my
He got
God.
his hands out, and they just like went up on everybody, man. They walked up on him and that person, and then they got
Wow.
Ryan there. Here it is there. They're looking at his I guess his ID or whatever they're looking at of his. Now they finally freed him there, and he's
Wow.
talking, he's explaining very, very calmly, nothing crazy,
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
little animated because hey, he's upset,
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
trying to explain to them. And at this point, they're saying stuff to him like, hey, calm down, like, calm down, dude. Like, my life just
Yeah.
flashed in front of me. I'm a,
Wow.
not only that, I'm a celebrity. You know what I mean? And he don't look
Yeah.
at himself like that. I'm just saying, I threw that in myself. And they're like, oh no. And he's trying to make sure he got everybody's badge numbers. They're all writing
Yeah.
down their badge numbers because obviously he's gonna file a formal complaint,
Yeah.
whatever. And it's just crazy,
That's
man.
so bad. Yeah.
So bad. And Bank of America, they're
They
just
should be
like I said,
ashamed of themselves.
if I wouldn't have, and it wasn't me, it was my brother, but if I wouldn't have witnessed it myself, that's
Yeah.
why I'm saying the things that I'm saying, as far as like I think it's a Bank of America and their policies. And I
Yeah.
believe that that woman who basically called the cops on him, I believe she felt, if I don't call the cops on him, or at least try to, if he is trying to rob the bank, they're gonna think I'm in on it. They're gonna think
And then
because
it seems like, yeah,
yeah,
there's like no way to win.
it's no
No
win.
way.
No
Yeah.
win situation there. She like they gonna think they might think I'm in on it. So I
Yeah.
gotta make sure I say something. But even if she wanted to say something because she wasn't sure, she should have
Yeah.
brought the manager into it, which she did, but she should have checked his ID. Because if they would have checked,
Yeah.
I mean, you bringing up the man's account, he brought, you check his ID, And they don't take even if no one knows who this guy is, because not everyone knows his name. He's like I said, he's a behind the scenes guy,
Yeah.
but he's a famous director.
Yeah.
You know that I used to when I years ago I used to work in like call centers, and I used to work for banks at call centers like Chase Bank,
Yeah.
all this some stuff. And every time a celebrity called in or someone their assistant called in, like those were flagged as VIP accounts, like because they're celebrities. They have like over.
Yeah.
It really was like not just celebrities. It was like anyone who had over $1 million in their bank account or something like
Okay. Yeah.
it was flagged as a VIP customer,
Yeah.
whatever. Makes you got to handle that with more care.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't give out no information from there, stuff like that. Because some people literally will call to try to get information on this celebrity, and try to pose as like their assistant or something like that. But
Yeah.
so I'm figuring like maybe that could have been a situation. She should have probed a little more, and she would have felt much better. She'd have been like, you know what? Let me check his ID. Let me make sure, have him pull his mask down. And then if you still aren't sure,
Mm.
run his name, and you
Yeah.
can say, oh, wait a minute. Okay, this is the director, you know? So
Yeah.
it's
Hopefully
unfortunate.
they're gonna learn from it, from
I
this.
hope they
I
do.
hope.
I hope they
Yeah.
learn from it. But I don't know. I mean, like I said, they treated my brother like garbage, and he was a Bank of America customer for many years, and a loyal customer, and that
Yeah.
they didn't mind losing him right then and there. So, but
Wow.
that's that. That's that. Um, so over the weekend, also the let me see here. I have to refresh this page. The BAFTA. Oh, is that the BAFTA Awards, or is that a film festival? I'm trying to remember. BAFTA winners.
Haven't heard of it.
It is the what does it stand for? The BAFTA. I'm trying to think. It's like it's like a British thing. It's like a
Okay.
British award film festival or something like that. What exactly? They don't have what it stands for here, but I know it's a pretty big festival, right? That I know. Now I want to look it up. What the hell does BAFTA stand for?
Have you ever been acting?
Huh?
Have you ever been acting? Like, have you done
Ever
acting?
been an actor? No, I've never.
Yeah.
I've never been interested in acting. I mean,
Okay.
I love directing actors.
Yeah.
I took a very short 1 day like acting course years ago. Only
Yeah.
it was called directing actors. That's pretty much what it was. So it was for me to kind of understand a little bit more how
Yeah.
actors, so for one
Okay.
day I was acting. Yeah, I was trying to like live the life of an actor to understand how to direct them, or actually just to how to communicate with them a little more.
Okay, that makes
So
sense. Yeah.
yeah, that's the closest I got, and I stunk at it. I'm not a good actor.
At
So
least sometimes you just have to try to figure it
yeah.
out. Yeah.
Okay, so the BAFTA stands for the British Academy Film Awards, I think.
Okay.
Film Awards, but I don't know what the T is in there for. British Academy of Film and Television Arts. That's what it stands for.
Okay.
Okay, so they're basically the British version of the Oscars, because
Okay.
or the Emmys, because the Oscars is put on by the Academy of Arts and Sciences, and the Emmys is put on by the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. So it's kind of like the same type of deal. So
Okay.
that's one of the this is what we call award season, right? It's usually kicked off with the Golden Globe Awards, which we had
Yeah.
a few months back, and then the Screen Actors Guild Awards, which just happened like a couple weeks ago. And then in the middle there, we have BAFTA. That's like the British
Yeah.
Academy Awards.
Okay.
And that all leads up to, of course, the Academy Awards, aka the Oscars, which will be taking place later this month.
Yeah.
It's like maybe next Sunday or the Sunday after that. But Yeah, so the Oscars are going to be
Okay.
taking place. So that's the award run, like the season that everybody goes through. So I'm just going to quickly run down some of the winners from BAFTA. We have
Yeah.
okay, so for best film, went to The Power of the Dog, which is a western that's on Netflix. So if you never heard of it, no, you can
Haven't.
check it out. You can check it out.
Okay.
um,
I might.
yeah. So that film it's actually you can see it. I think on Netflix. I'm almost sure.
Okay. I feel like I've watched everything on Netflix. When I had COVID, I was just like, what is
Oh man,
left to watch?
what's
So
left to
if you
watch?
have any recommendations, I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, did you see? Because this is one of the award. This is one of the like in the awards race. Did you
Yeah.
watch Don't Look Up?
Yes.
That was
I have different feelings about it.
that was
It was
funny.
the
That was
Meryl
great
Streep.
though. Yeah,
Meryl
Meryl
Streep.
Streep,
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence,
Yeah.
Leo DiCaprio, who
I
actually
think it was
produced the film.
interesting. Oh, he did?
Yeah, Leo
Okay.
produced the film. I think him and Jennifer Lawrence were executive producers on the film.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was very interesting. So actually, it was in the running in the BAFTA for best film. It was
Okay.
between Belfast, Don't Look Up, Dune, Licorice Pizza, and The Power of the Dog, and that was the winner, The
Okay.
Power of the Dog. So outstanding British film went to Belfast. That was the film that won. Um, there was a lot of films in there. They got House of Gucci as one of them because I guess because of the natures about Gucci, so it's
Yeah.
considered like a British film or whatever
It's the one with Lady Gaga, right?
with Lady Gaga in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Best leading actress went to Joanna Scanlon, who's from After Love is the name of the movie. Lady Gaga was up for best leading actress. So was Tessa Thompson from the movie. Did you watch that movie on Netflix? Passing.
No,
Okay.
I haven't.
Great film, especially about what we talking about on the this topic.
Yeah.
Passing is about a woman, two women who are black, but they're very light skinned. And
Okay.
she meets a friend that she grew up with who is now basically married to, and this is back in the I don't know, like the 1920s, 30s or 40s or something. It's like it's far back. It's a period piece.
Yeah.
But she is her friend is married to a white man.
Okay.
And it's not the 1920s, but it's like but it is like maybe the 40s or 50s, something like that. Racism is still running rampant, but she's
Not
married
a
to a
good
white
year
man, but
for.
she's passing as a white woman because she's so fair skinned. She passed
Oh.
white woman. So that was a
Yeah.
term. Passing was a term back then that fair skinned black people could actually do and pass as a white person.
Yeah. Wow.
That was a real term that a lot of people did. That was fair, and they would get better jobs that way. And
Was
stuff.
it
It
the
was very,
paper bag?
huh?
Is it called the paper bag? Like if you're under lighter than a paper bag, you're
Hmm.
like approved.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, something
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that was like another book or something like that they told me about
Yeah.
that too. Yeah,
Okay.
same deal, but yeah, passing was like that. So it was an interesting film.
Yeah.
Because she's married to like the dude, and because she's married to the white dude, he comes back where it's like she basically sees her old friend at like a restaurant. They talk, she goes back to her room with her, and it's like you could tell that she's got money and this, that, and the other, but
Yeah.
her friend didn't know she was married to a white man. The white man comes
Okay.
back and thinks that they're both, thinks that the other girl is white too, and he's
Yeah.
just talking. like there's no black people in the room, so he's dropping the N word, and
Oh.
he's like she says to him, Tessa Thompson's character says, "You really don't like black people, do you?" And he's like, "Oh," he said, "No, it's not that I don't like them. I hate them." It's like, wow.
Damn. Okay.
He's married to a black woman, but she doesn't look black.
Oh
And
my
so
God.
that's all I'm gonna tell you.
Wow.
You go ahead and watch it, and
Yeah.
like it.
I
I think you'll enjoy it. So that was actually up. One of the actresses
yeah.
was up for that. So
Okay.
best leading actor. Oh wow, Will Smith for King Richard. He
Nice.
won again. It looks like Will is going to sweep. I think he's gonna get the Oscar as well. He got the Golden Globe.
Yeah.
Got the SAG Award, the Screen Actors Guild, and now he's picked up this BAFTA, which is there in the middle, and now he's setting him up for the Academy Awards.
Wow.
And
I love him.
yeah, he was really good in
Yeah.
that film too. He did his homework and really was able to deliver a good performance. Now I'm bringing on.
Yeah.
You're gonna see someone else pop up. This is one of my co-hosts, one of my Jedi Council, Kev. Kev, you're in the building. Thanks for joining us, buddy. And I guess he'll come on when his audio loads up.
Sorry about
But
that. I might drop out and drop back in.
oh,
I'm in my car. I just left out of the.
you're in the car. Okay, no problem. So you could just hold on, stay on, and if you drop off, you drop off. Say hello to our guest co-host tonight, Nana.
Hello, how are you?
Hi. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
What kind of hi is that? You want real talk? She's like, hi.
Yeah, she's real laid back, man. She's chilling. But let me just bring him up to speed, Kev. This woman is now. Do you realize it's probably almost 3:00 in the morning where she's at? She's in Denmark.
Oh, she's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for you coming on the air. And
Yeah, that's what we said. Kudos.
I'm dedicated. I've been looking forward to it. It's okay. I don't need sleep. It's okay.
That's awesome. Yeah. So we were discussing, the Rayn Coogler debacle with, that whole thing with him being, racially profiled. Let's call it what it is.
No. Let's call it what it is. Not racially profiling. Ignorant ass black woman. Period.
Yeah. But no, the reason why I said that is because I believe that he wasn't racially profiled by the woman. He was racially profiled by Bank of America and their policies because my brother went through a similar situation. My brother.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Yeah. I remember when. I think you remember when I might have told you when that happened.
Yep.
He was trying to deposit money into his account, and it was money that we got from my mother's death, and it was like they were like, oh, at the end of the day, they gave him so much trouble. He was there for an hour. At the end of the day, the manager literally said to him, "I do not feel comfortable with you depositing this money in the account." So my brother immediately said, "Okay," and he withdrew every dime he had and closed his account. So
it still fascinates me that it's 2022.
Yep.
Yeah.
And people I'm gonna start changing this statement too, because we have to stop saying people of color. Because first of all, there's no such thing as white people. If they put their hand on a sheet of paper, they are a color. So they are people of color as well.
Mm-hmm.
And my point in saying that is that it's a shame that human beings cannot recognize the innocence of other human beings just making a transaction.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's far past.
He gave her a deposit slip along with the note.
ID.
With ID. If you're a Bank of America customer, you can't even make a transaction until you swipe your card and put in your PIN.
Exactly. I used to be a Bank of America customer myself, and that's how they run. You have to swipe your card before you put in your PIN. And he did all of that. He explained that to the cops at the end. Yeah,
And
he's great. Yep.
I don't I don't understand the verification process that she had to go through. She didn't go through that. She's talking
She
about,
didn't
oh,
do it.
my stomach felt funny. So if your stomach felt funny, you couldn't say, sir, I'm looking at your ID. I can't tell who you are. So can you
And you
please
remove your
remove your
mask
glasses,
and your
pull
mask.
down your mask, early,
Yeah.
just so I can verify your identification?
He would have gladly did that. He would have gladly did that. You know that. Anybody would, because it's literally for your protection. So, protecting your account. So why wouldn't
That
you do it?
Yeah.
So that he definitely would. But yeah, this is what we're talking about, and it was very interesting when Nana was talking about how much racism is in Denmark. Like, like this is a place I've never been before. I'm like, oh wow, it's like it's pretty bad over there too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It's just but yeah, again, it's hard to compare it to America because the difference is so big and the
Yeah.
stories are different, but it is just a thing here. But it's like it's something that is kind of happening behind the curtains. It's not a subject that people are comfortable talking about
Mm.
because we are minorities. So I'm like the only person that I can actually talk to experiencing racism about is people who actually experienced it on themselves. So, and when I talk to other people about it, it's kind of like, no, it doesn't exist. Not everybody, but it's like a kind of a common thing to like say it doesn't exist in Denmark, or I overreacted. It didn't mean it
Oh,
like that, So it's kind of, yeah, making up
wow.
excuses some of the time. So yeah, it's kind of uphill.
Oh man, that's so unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. So okay, I'll go. Let's continue on the list real quick. Let me share the screen on this too, so people can see what list I'm actually reading from.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, this is courtesy of Empire magazine. So I'm just kind of looking at there. Yeah, so best you can see that right on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's late, but I'm trying to
yeah, you can see
keep my eyes.
Yeah, right. You want me to brighten up the screen a little bit so you can?
It's okay. It's okay. I'm good.
I get it. I can make it a little brighter, so you can see a little brighter. Yeah. So, best supporting actress, Ariana DeBois from West Side Story. She actually won the SAG award as well.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So she got two in a row. Best supporting actor is Troy Costor from Coda. Coda was the film that was most of the characters in there were deaf. It was like
Yeah.
a deaf family, and there was only like only one character in there that was supposedly like not deaf, right? So that was an interesting film, undertaking
Yeah.
altogether to ever do that. Oh, so Jane Campion won Power of the Dog. She won Best Director as well. So that's two big ones for them. They won Best Film and Best Director.
Yeah.
Outstanding debut by a British writer, director, or producer. The
Wow.
winner was James Samuel. He was the writer director for The Harder They Fall. Did you watch that on Netflix?
No, and I feel like you need to give me a list of movies to watch because
On Netflix,
I
yeah.
I, I thought I saw it all, but I haven't.
Yeah. No, The Harder They Fall is a western as well. It's an all black cast, pretty much. Like it's a predominantly maybe one or two. There's
Yeah.
white, there's Caucasian people in the film, but it's literally a all black cast, basically.
Yeah.
Western, which based on, it's not based on anybody, it's just inspired by real
Yeah.
actual cowboys of the Wild West. And so it was cool. It was very interesting. Stars Idris Elba and my man, why can't I think of his name right now? Can't think of his name, but I'm drawing a blank right now with the actors. I'm not usually
The guy that he's referencing is the guy from uh, Jesus. Now I'm drawing a blank.
see.
Um,
Why I don't understand why I can't. Let's see if anybody in the chat room can help me out if they know his name, right?
he's the guy. He's the guy from that quirky movie about not dear white people. God damn it, what's the name of that movie?
We're sitting there. I'm not gonna try to guess no more. I'm just gonna bring it up. 'Cause
Unfortunately,
I'm just
driving.
gonna bring up his name right there. My man right there. Jonathan Majors. That's his name.
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors. Yeah.
You know what? The funny thing is, I was talking about the other guy.
Oh, who was you talking about? I was talking about Idris Elba. Well, you got Idris Elba and then Jonathan Majors. They were the two main characters in there. So we got their Harder They Fall, but the director won the BAFTA for outstanding debut British writer by a British writer or director. Film not in the English language. Drive My Car was the winner. I didn't see the film, don't know what it's about, but it's something that I wouldn't do right now thanks to the gas prices. Other than that, that's all. I'll watch a film called Drive My Car, but I won't actually do it.
I understand.
Thank God I do all my work from home. Best animated film. What else? Encanto. What else would it be? That's the right now the biggest shoot. It's not even just the biggest Disney film right now. It's just one of the biggest films right now.
Wow.
Just happens to be a Disney film. Best original screenplay.
Is that other cartoon Turning Red or something like that on that list? Me and my
did that come out yet? Did that come out yet?
Yeah, it came out on Friday. Me and my grandson.
Okay, so it's too late. It's too late to make any of those. It's too late to make the
they thought that it might make it. They might have gotten.
I don't think so because the Oscars are this month.
Right.
So yeah, and plus all of the other ones have passed. That was just last one. This one right here, the BAFTA.
But I'm thinking, people were saying I think it was screened or something earlier last year. That's why people thought that it might have been on the list.
Oh, I don't see it on here. It just says, at least for this one, it's just Encanto, Flea, Luca, and the Mitchells versus the Machines. So those are the only ones. So
yeah, Encanto gonna win that.
Well, Encanto was gonna win it regardless. I mean, it's just like it's so my 2-year-old knows every word in that movie. She acts it out like when it's going on, right? Sings all the songs. She's only 2. She just turned 2, like last week.
Wow, that's so cute.
Screenplay: Licorice Pizza, Paul Thomas Anderson. Best adapted screenplay was Coda. I believe a lot of these are going to happen in the Oscars as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Coda wins Best Adapted Screenplay as an Oscar as well. Best Cinematography, Dune. I also feel that may pick up Best Cinematography at the Oscars, or they might give it to West Side Story, because I'm not gonna lie, cinematography in West Side Story was tight. I did watch it, and I was like, there's a lot of great shots, very creative shots in West Side Story, in this new version of West Side Story. I was like, oh, that's really cool. So wouldn't be surprised if that was my sleeper. I'm not gonna go down all of them. I'm just jumping over some of them. Cruella won Best Costume Design. Best Production Design was Dune. That makes sense. Best Makeup and Hair, The Eyes of Tammy Faye. That makes sense. Eyes of Tammy Faye, but they made up Jessica Chastain. She looked just like Tammy Faye. Like they really did a good job with makeup on
Yeah.
they must have used some prosthetics and stuff like that because she didn't.
It's
She was
crazy what they can do.
yeah,
Like,
she was
yeah.
unrecognizable. Like as the actor, I'm like, whoa.
Wow.
So Dune also won for best sound. I could see them winning that as well. Either that or maybe No Time to Die might win best sound at the Oscars because that had a lot of cool sound, just going on in that movie, that Bond movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Visual effects went to Dune. Dune won big at the BAFTA awards. Visual
I
effects
need
went
to
to Dune.
see that
Now,
movie.
yeah, I said that you can see that on HBO Max. I think it's on if it's
Yeah.
still on there.
Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you this. It's not in this list, but the Oscars have listed for best special effects Spider-Man No Way Home, and I believe that's gonna win. So
I actually want to see that movie. I haven't seen it yet, but
yeah,
it's
it's gonna be out. It's gonna be out on streaming very soon. It might
yeah,
be out
yeah.
now. It might be even available now on some streaming
Ooh,
platforms. But yeah, you're
okay.
gonna love that film. That film, I think everyone. It's like it's like Avengers Endgame. It's like that. It's that me not comparing it to Endgame, but when it comes to that fan service that
Yeah,
it gave, like the people who are fans of all of the Spider-Man movies got
yeah.
satisfied with this film. Yeah.
I feel like it might be the same of, growing up watching Bad Boys and then see the recap of it. It
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, it's my childhood. I grew up with,
Yeah. Yeah.
Spider-Man, so I think I would get the same kind of
Oh,
feeling. Like,
you're gonna definitely have that nice feeling.
yeah,
Like, oh man, this is much.
yeah,
I mean, me myself, and I know Kev probably feels the same way when it comes to our childhood. Um,
mm,
this was our childhood. We're actually, me and Kev were comic book collectors, so
Yeah.
like seeing this on screen is just. I mean, at the end of the day, some people complain about some movies, but at the end of the day, it's a blessing to see any of these movies on screen because these
yeah.
were movies these were
Wait.
stories we were reading. We were
Yeah.
reading these stories,
Wow.
and imagining them, and then some of them became cartoons, so we was
Yeah.
able to watch like animated versions, but to see a live action version, Spider-Man was my favorite. That's who I collected. I collected Spider-Man, I collected the X-Men, and I collected Batman. That's what I pretty much collected as far as comic
Wow.
books. And Spider-Man I had the most of, and he was my favorite comic book character. So the moment I first saw the very first live action Spider-Man film, I lost
Yeah.
my mind. I was like,
Wow.
I couldn't believe I
I could
was
only
watching.
imagine. Wow.
It's just so crazy. So to be able to live long enough to see, now we're living in the technology times where
Mm,
we could see this stuff and really see it how we imagined it as kids.
yeah. Yeah.
That's the greatness for it. But yeah, so that's that. So let's just jump to the next topic real quick. So courtesy of Deadline.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so I'm approaching this really funny, but so let's go here. Jussie's sentence. All right. Obviously, just Jussie Smollett has been, he was sentenced a few days ago,
Yeah.
and he ended up getting, what was it? How many months in prison did he get?
He got what he got. And I want to correct this. I hate it that I can't call up on the radio and get through because everybody keeps messing this up. What he got a 30-month sentence of probation.
30 months probation, right?
Of that 30-month probation, 150 days
Days.
are to be spent in
in
jail. So basically,
jail.
5 months. He's going to spend 5 months in jail, And then once he gets released, and he'll probably, and the crazy thing is,
I'm gonna do a third of that. Yeah.
Right. He'll probably only do like a month and a half, maybe 2 months.
Yeah.
And then he'll be released on good behavior. And then he'll have to do the remainder of whatever that is in probation. Which
right.
The other thing that's good about it is the judge said that he can do that probation from wherever he is, because he is an actor, and they assume that when he gets back out, he's going to get back to work. So they gave him the option of being able to call in for his probation. He doesn't actually have to come to Chicago. So that part of it was good.
That was good. That part of it was good.
But it was still shocking. I was actually watching it live as it was happening. And when I was like, when he went through it, first of all, my mouth was on the floor from just the judge's 40-minute commentary.
Yeah. Totally chastising, as some people call it.
It was unnecessary. And this is how you know somebody from the DA's office or from the police, also from the police union, got in contact with this judge and told him, this guy better not walk. This guy better not get off. Like, normally what they do with cases like this, with what he did, you get, it's literally a slap on the wrist. The DA even said it when the first time he went to court. The DA even said that they normally don't even prosecute these cases. They do a deal. You go before the judge. It's 1, 2, 3. It's out. You got probation, going about your business. Or sometimes they just drop the charges altogether, and you get an ACOD, and you go out and you go on your own business. Those of you who have been locked up know what I just said and understand what I mean. But the bottom line is, the other thing is, just like Bill Cosby, Jussie has already been charged, and there's already been a charge. There's already been a trial.
He's done some time, right?
And he's already not even the time. He's already been found guilty and been charged, and they struck a deal. They already struck a plea deal with him for what as they normally do. So the whole thing about this thing being brought back up, trust me, that's why his people were so shocked and was scrambling, because they was like, what the fuck? What's going on? This is not supposed to be. Wait a minute, what are they doing right now? This is not what we're here for. So when that happened, that's why at the end you had them keep asking, Your Honor, can we get a stay on him being locked up, and because we're going to file an appeal. So can we get a stay on sentencing? So, and what that means is, for people who don't understand, basically what that means is he'll be able to go home and be released while still waiting for his appeal to go through, instead of being in jail and waiting.
But he denied that, didn't he?
The judge denied everything that they tried.
Yeah, he denied everything, and that's what
they was throwing everything.
He went from there and went to jail. Now, what I want to hold on a second, because I want to just bring a little more perspective in. What this article is saying, because it's talking about. So that brings that's pretty much what happened. 150 days incarceration for creating what they call creating a hate hoax, and it said so blah blah blah, right? And so his you have Taraji here, Taraji P. Henson, who did, I guess she's talking, maybe did a video or something talking about free Jussie. She has a hashtag free Jussie thing going on. His family is speaking out. They're obviously supporting him and saying he didn't do it, blah 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 blah, and then they're maintaining their innocence. Well, they're maintaining his innocence, and he's maintaining his own innocence, and that's what they're really talking about. So I guess the question of the matter is, obviously something like this, I mean, the real question that everyone's asking right now is this sentence harsh? right? That's pretty much what the question is. I think it's no question that it's harsh, right? A little harsh for the crime. There's people you
It's
know
not just it's
that's went to there's people that's went to jail. Yeah.
not
So
the
or went to
that is
didn't even go to jail for worse crimes, right? But um that I think that's not a question. But now, first of all of this, he's let's make this clear that Jussie Smollett is maintaining his innocence, and that's what he is proclaiming. Doesn't necessarily mean that's what I think, but well, it's not about what I think. I'm talking about the actual sentence.
Mm.
'Cause, they're speaking. His family and him is speaking on the fact that his not that his sentence was yes that it is harsh. The sentencing was harsh, way too harsh, but I see them in press conferences still, as a family does, supporting their brother and their son and everything, and saying, he's innocent. He is the victim, and he's whatever, and that's what they keep pushing. And there was
Mm.
uh, the lawyer for the two gentlemen that were implicated in this, that was supposedly or allegedly hired by him to assault him, so he can pull this hoax off or whatever. Those two gentlemen, their lawyer basically is, saying, hey, my clients, as we said from the beginning, were pretty much, thrown under the bus. So so I guess they kind of, I don't know if they got off or what happened to them, but the lawyer seemed pleased with the outcome. She's talking about, oh, we need to, accept what the judge said and move on. And start healing. I said, how you gonna start healing? His family ain't gonna start healing. He's in jail.
First of all, it start healing. It's not only no, he's not just in jail. He's in county jail in
Yeah,
Chicago,
County,
and
Cook
the
County.
county jail that he's in.
Yeah.
Listen,
Cook
listen.
County, yeah, it's
If
in
he's in
Chicago.
Cook County, and listen,
That's one of the worst.
listen. I ain't never been to Cook County. I haven't even never. I probably passed through Chicago as a kid when we went on vacations. But that's the closest I've ever come to Cook County. And even my dad and them used to talk about Cook County back in the day, from people who used to get locked up and put in there. That place ain't no joke at
No,
all.
no, it's definitely, most definitely. I mean, but this is where the crime was, allegedly
Never.
committed. So that's where he had to be tried and sentenced and all that other stuff. So that's pretty much the gist of that. I mean, we'll get back to that and see what I want to do is, because I know now you're it's probably like 4 o'clock in the morning over there now. I'm going to get ready to give you your night back and let you go. But I wanted to see if you had any comments on this situation. I have I'm sure you've heard about this and all of that stuff, right?
Yeah, I read about it in the
Yeah.
in the
So
media.
not really say, I don't really want to ask people what they think of whether he did it or not is irrelevant. What do you think about the sentencing and stuff like that? He's 150 days in jail for pulling a hoax, what they're calling a hate hoax, which I guess if you're gonna name it, that's what it was, because he basically allegedly created a
Yeah,
hate crime, that
yeah,
didn't really happen. You know,
yeah,
I think anybody who's being deceptive should have some sort of penalty, but
yeah. I don't know, like 150.
150 days, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a lot, but I think that he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
So if you can't do the crime,
Don't do you can't do the time.
If
Don't
you
do the
can't do the
crime.
time, don't do the crime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but
No, I agree with you. I
yeah,
feel, my personal opinion is my opinion on it. I feel that
yeah,
you made your bed, you have to lay in it. Um,
yeah,
was the penalty a little harsh? Yeah, I think it's a little harsh. That many days in prison, but he's not going to do that many days as long as he behave. But I mean, he's
yeah,
feeling something else about it, and he's maintaining his innocence. So that's why his family is so outraged. But
yeah.
you
But
know,
what is her name? How do you pronounce her name?
Taraji,
Yeah,
yeah,
that she wrote that it's a crime. It's a punishment itself that he cannot be like in Hollywood anymore because nobody's
yeah,
gonna hire him, right?
yeah. They
I
mentioned something like,
I understand that, but I also don't think it justifies that you could do whatever you want, and because it's gonna ruin your career, it's gonna be a punishment. It's like,
yeah,
yeah, but
yeah. Yeah,
I don't
she did
know.
say that. I'm glad you brought that up. She said he's already lost everything.
Yeah,
To me as an artist, not being able to create in itself is punishment enough. Yeah, it is, but that's not that ain't got nothing to do with you doing a crime.
no,
And
I think it's two different things.
there's two different things.
Actually, yeah,
Now the one thing I felt, and I get what they were trying to do, and it's the last thing I'll bring up before I let you go. They did bring up. Someone said, "I'm not here to debate you on on his innocence." Henson wrote, "This was Taraji P. Henson still saying,
yeah,
she said, but we can agree that the punishment does not fit the crime, right?" And then she says, "Emmett Till was brutally beat and ultimately murdered because of a lie, and none of the people involved with his demise spent one day in jail. And even after Carolyn Bryant admitted to her claims were false." I understand that, but let's not compare Emmett Till to this. Emmett
yeah,
Till, the whole Emmett Till thing, that I wouldn't have brought that up. I thought that was not a good example. But I
yeah,
understand I see where she was going with it, obviously.
yeah.
But that's
He's
a
being a
whole
friend as
nother
well.
that has nothing to do with just the crime and not
No,
being punished for the crime. It had everything to do with the times and
yeah,
the skin tone and
yeah,
all of that. That's what it all was.
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
that was not a good comparison, but it is what it is. So once again, now shout out your social media. Let people know if they want to check you out and follow you and check out your music and stuff like that. Where can they find you?
Yeah, I appreciate it. I am Lotus Noir is my music, but I would say that I am working on my American album
Mm,
as Angelina Gabo,
mm.
and I'm almost done with it. It's very exciting, but
Mhm.
I will tell you more about that another time.
So you're working with the International Dynasty, right? And
Yeah, yeah,
Romaine, shout out to Romaine. Uh,
yeah,
big
Ray.
shout out to them and the family, International Dynasty. They got like
Yeah,
famous families on both sides, right? So it's like,
yeah, it's
you know,
crazy.
you got like the Houston
Yeah,
family, and Whitney Houston and her family on one side. You got the
yeah.
Smokey Robinson and the other family on the other side.
It's
Like
kind of a
two
mixture.
it's a big mix of
Yeah,
it's like on both sides of the coin.
yeah,
Like from his side and his wife's side, they have these
yeah,
famous families, right? And then they have
yeah,
international dynasty. So big up to them. They were the ones that actually it made the introduction of us, and
yeah, yeah,
that's what's up. So yeah, so once you're done with the music there, you'll come back
yeah,
on. We'll talk about some stuff. We'll play some stuff, and then
yeah.
y'all need to holler at me to do a music video.
Yes, I'm coming to Florida.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
hopefully. Yeah,
Soon. All
not
right.
like maybe this year. I'm hoping. Yeah, but
Not
I'm
too soon,
definitely
but soon.
going to the States. Yeah,
From the States.
at
Okay.
some point. Yeah,
Well,
I
awesome.
am.
We would love to have you, and we appreciate you once again for coming on and staying with us this long. You're a trooper. because I would have been dead sleep at this time. I saw you drinking your coffee and keeping you up. It's awesome. So thank you again for joining us. We really appreciate you
Much
taking the time
appreciated.
and hanging out with us. So you go get some sleep now.
I
Have a
will.
good
And
night.
thank you for having me. Yeah. Take
Well,
care, guys.
all right.
Okay.
Now to the building. Peace out, yo. So yeah, that's funny, man. She's in Denmark, man. And it's like, wow. I remember when I was talking to her, setting up the interview. She's like, yeah, it's like I was talking to her probably around this time of night. And she's like, yeah, it's like 4 a.m. I'm like, why are you up? I was like, I was just sending her like information, and stuff like things that we are talking about. But yeah, I was just right when you came back on. I was talking about, I didn't like the whole Emmett Till thing that Taraji brought up. I get what she was trying to go with it, but let's not go there. Okay, let's not go there with that.
No, but no, let's go there though, because
the reason why I'm not going there, because she said he got killed because of a lie. We don't know this is a lie. The only lie that we don't know, like I said, from what we see, what we believe, what was proven, whatever, he was the one that lied, right? Allegedly. So that's a whole nother story. Someone lied on Emmett Till and he got killed for it. And yes, the guys that killed him, no one spent a minute in jail. I get what she's trying to say, but it's still different. That to me, that wasn't a good comparison.
Well, what she exactly was trying to point out was the fact that, yeah, she wasn't more so trying to point out the fact that because of Emmett Till getting killed by a lie. What she was pointing out was the fact that the lady that supposedly told the lie came forward and said, "Hey, what I said was a lie. I fabricated that," and that they didn't even bother trying to arrest her or arrest the guy. And those guys are still alive, and to arrest them, to lock them up.
I think she said that's what she was pretty much, if I remember correctly, I think she was on her deathbed when she admitted that, pretty much.
Yeah,
she was like, on her way out.
The lady was on her way out when she admitted that. So there was nothing they really could do to her. But because she admitted that, and because there's no statute of limitations on murder, those guys something should have happened to them, and nothing happened. That's her point. That was the takeaway.
Well, right. That was her, the point about it. I don't know. I wouldn't even have mentioned it. That's just me. But I get her. I get what she's trying to do, and she's, defend them. They're all gonna defend him and try to be. And I agree that I feel that my personal opinion on it is, I feel that yes, I think the punishment's a little harsh. The fact that he had to spend that much time in jail. But I personally, I don't know what the punishment should have been, because I've never seen anything like this before. So I'm just like, oh man, but he definitely should have been punished for it if you do something like this. Just like I feel anybody who deceives.
I could tell you what the punishment should have been. He shouldn't have, on the real, like they said, like the prosecutor said, he already got sentenced for this before this. A new prosecutor.
So what they should have did is they should have took time served off
and brought it back up.
Yeah. So maybe they should have at least
he didn't really serve any time.
Oh, he didn't.
That's the thing.
I thought he was arrested. I thought he did. He was. Okay.
Like I said.
Hey. I mean, the whole thing about, whatever this is, they could have definitely went a little lighter, and the fact that the judge spent 40 minutes chastising him, you knew it wasn't going to be pretty.
You don't understand. The whole thing was over and done with. A new process. they was like, no, we're not letting him get away with this because he made the city of Chicago look stupid, specifically the Chicago police. So we gonna make an example out of him.
Yeah,
and that's what they did. They basically was like, yo, we ain't being played with. If you do something here in Chicago, we
Yeah, I mean that's really what it was. At the end of the day, at the bottom line is they'll make an example. They're making it.
like with Bill Cosby. Hopefully, his team won't have to take as long. And Bill, he won't have to be in jail as long as Bill Cosby was, and they can put forward an appeal and get this overturned. Because, like I said, he was already. I forget what his situation was, but his whole thing was done and over with. They already came to a plea deal, and like the prosecutor said, these things don't normally even go to trial. That was the old Chicago prosecutor that said that these things don't normally go to trial. They're normally in and out. They don't even bother with.
They definitely decided. We know what's happening here. Like if you didn't know, you just called it out. The city of Chicago was going to make an example out of him for making their police force look stupid. Or whatever, their city, and all of and then you add in the political side to it, all of the flack that's coming down on them with him doing the whole, whatever, the Trump haters or the guys posing as Trump supporters or whatever. And all of that stuff is all what he's paying for, honestly.
And here's the crazy thing on top of it, not to cut you off, but here's the crazy thing on top of it. This is why I'm a little bit suspect about what happened and about him being guilty, because the other two guys never got locked up for nothing.
No, but I mean, they didn't get locked up because allegedly he hired them. So, what were they going to be locked up for? It's just like them. They go. It's just like they're just going for the mastermind. They're punishing the mastermind of it. They're pawns. They're punishing.
That's my whole point. They're now re-punishing him. He already went forward with a trial. It's just like the same thing with OJ. They couldn't get OJ for killing Nicole, but when he went to go steal his shit back, we gonna get him for that.
Yeah, and once again, just like I feel about OJ, he was stupid for putting himself in that position. And that's what happened. So I really don't feel bad for him, to be honest with you. He should never put himself.
I'm not saying feel bad for him. I'm not even. I didn't even say that for a sympathy card. That's not why I said that. What I was saying was the fact that OJ went, and I'll put it like this: if it would have been anybody else that didn't have a previous charge against them,
of course,
let's just say it was Denzel Washington,
right?
That went to go steal some memorabilia back, or went to go get his memorabilia back.
Right, but we know that. We all know that, and I know exactly what you're saying, and I agree with you. But guess who else knows that?
Denzel Washington ain't got no charges. He ain't got nothing. He ain't had nothing. So it would have, he wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been what it was.
Wouldn't have been a big of a deal like it was.
What I said.
Yeah, exactly, and. At the same time, I'm saying, who else should have known that it would have been worse because it's OJ? OJ. He should have known that. You knew exactly. You should have been laying low, OJ. Not to make this about OJ, but I'm just saying, OJ's ass should have been laying low, and then he went and got into this dumb situation, and he should have known that they were going to use that to. What'd you say? I think you broke up a little bit. But he should have known that they were going to use that to bury him. Same deal here. Jussie Smollett, it's unfortunate that you got this amount of time, and I don't think it's
Right.
I don't think it's the right amount of time, but you shouldn't have done this nonsense. If it's something that you did,
Wes,
what's the
Wes,
point?
go back. Wes, just go back and make your point because you dropped out.
Okay. Well, I think. Well, yeah, I'm not sure which one because you dropped out too.
About 20
So I don't
seconds of
know.
what
If,
you
I
were
don't know
saying
who
was
dropped out. Oh, I guess what I was basically saying was about when I was talking about OJ is and we all know that if it was anybody else, right, he should have knew better. We all know that if it would have been anyone else, they wouldn't have got that type of time. But it was because of OJ and they screwed up and they didn't get him where they wanted him. They had found an opportunity to get him, and that's what they did. And he should have known that and should have never put himself in that stupid position. Same deal, not the exact same deal with this guy, but I'm just saying, like, the whole thing of this whole thing that you did for whatever the reason that it happened. I mean, come on, bro. Like, it's not right that you got that much time. But my opinion is, whatever comes to you behind it is, there's obviously results. So there's consequences for things that people do.
See, that's the point. That's the point that everybody keep missing. They already sentenced him. He already got like a light amount of probation. It was basically over with.
Right. No, I do understand that. But what I'm saying is, if it's still within the law for them to, just like a lot of people.
It's not. But see, that's the thing. It's not. But that's the thing. It's not.
It wouldn't have got this far if it's not within the law.
But it's not. It's just the same thing with Bill Cosby. That's why Bill Cosby's thing got turned over, because they did the same thing to him. That's the point I'm trying to say.
If that's the case, let's see if his thing gets turned over. We'll have to see. If that is the case, then his should be turned over as well.
That is the case. If you go back and look at it, he was already charged. And it was his case was over with. His case was done.
Was that in like another county or something?
No,
they did the same thing with R. Kelly too. Remember how R. Kelly's thing, and they were bringing up the charges, what was it? Like the state filed charges against him and stuff like that. It was almost like the same thing happened with him too. And he's still sitting in jail, so we know that. But
and doing stuff. So that's why the state and the feds and all that stuff is involved, because his shit was crossing state lines and all kinds of R. Kelly shit was just crazy. I don't understand. To be honest with you, just speaking on him, I don't understand how he was even out as long as he was out. Like, just off the charges that they first had on him. Like, he was doing shit that he should have got. If he didn't get state time, he should have got fed time for it. And he beat it all. Like, at that point, he's the stupidest motherfucker on the planet.
That's what I said. He once again, lay low, man. You heard who's that?
Make music and get
lay low.
Make music and get pussy your age.
Yeah, but that's his problem, though. That's not what he wasn't going to do that. That's not his thing, and that's his issue. And that's
the crazy part. Here's the crazy part. It seems like he's the only one that's going down for it. All the people who enabled him are getting off.
Yeah, exactly. Because once again, they're going for the head fish. It's just like, it's just like when they do the pyramids with the mobs and stuff. They want the head honcho. They'll let the other guys go.
I call bullshit. I call bullshit on that. See, racketeering is one thing. Racketeering, you could do that with racketeering because there's a tier to it. There's a head, and then it starts to go down. So you actually have evidence on everybody with racketeering. In this case, this shit wasn't racketeering.
No.
This is
No,
fucking just all kinds of stuff. If you were enabling him, if you were going out and getting the girls, fishing and pulling the girls to the back,
what's going on in there? You got some sort of interference or something,
you should be held responsible for that. Period.
Some sort of interference or something going on, Kev. I don't know what it is. Can you hear me? It's weird. I don't know, but yeah. So that's pretty much the whole Jussie sentence. I think most people agree that it that's a little harsh, but definitely not even just a little harsh. Could be considered a lot harsh, but for him being in this situation, to me, is just dumb in the first place. Whether he had already got sentenced for it or not, the whole situation was just stupid. He shouldn't have put himself through it. But we'll have to see how that unfolds. We'll stay on top of that situation. There was another thing that I wanted to bring up before I end the show. Is let me go here and bring this up here because I had a clip of it, but then I couldn't find it. Let's see. Let's bring up this news clip in here. Yeah, so in Variety, they had an article. I think Kev's coming back on. Let me just get rid of this one. Kev, you there?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. I was picking up my daughter from work. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
Can you hear
got
me?
you. So, yeah, I hear you. I hear you clear. Yeah.
Hello.
So yeah, I can hear you. I hear you, Kev. Can you hear us?
All right.
We hear you.
Yep, I hear you guys.
Okay, cool. So what I wanted to bring up here was
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. So Variety ran. Well, there's a couple of articles I was reading here where Morris Day slams Prince Estate, says he's forbidden from performing as the time. I wanted to bring this up for one of the last shows. So the Prince Estate apparently. Now, first, let's get some perspective here. Obviously, the Prince's estate. Oh, it's a mess. It's a big mess. It's run by. All right, it was run. It includes his 6 living siblings, who are split down the middle. Okay, meaning 3 siblings feel one type of way and 3 siblings feel another type of way. When Prince didn't really F with none of them, but that's a whole nother story. But you got 3 siblings that feel one type of way, 3 siblings that feel another type of way. Then there's like lawyers and stuff that runs this estate, and they're all part of this, make up the estate. Morris Day was told, and what he says, that he was told that he can, it says here, I'll even read what he says here. I've given 40 years of my life building up a name and legacy that Prince and I came up with. He wrote on a social media post, a name that while he was alive, he had no problem with me using. I literally put my blood, sweat, and tears into bringing value to that name. In fact, he booked me on several tours and many jam-packed nights at Paisley Park under that name of Morris Day and the Time. Not once ever saying to me that I couldn't use that name configuration. So he said, however, now that Prince is no longer with us, suddenly the people who controls his multi-million-dollar estate want to rewrite history by taking my name away from me, thus impacting how I feed my family. He continued, so as of now, per Prince estate, I can no longer use Morris Day and the Time in any capacity. All right, end quote. And it also goes on to show you, talk about the Prince estate, it talk about how it's broken down It talks about, all of this stuff about that you can, find out about the Prince estate. You can read up about it. But I'm giving you, like, in a nutshell, the Prince estate, the six siblings that are a part of his estate are split down the middle. They're not in agreement with whatever. You have three that consist of, like, his sister and a couple other siblings, and then you got the other three, and they've been at each other's throats for the longest. They've been fighting, trying to split up the estate the right way, because allegedly one group of them wants to preserve his legacy, so to speak, and one group of them, I don't know what the hell they want to do. They obviously want to, in my opinion, sell off his legacy. So, or maybe profit from it, but everyone wants to profit from it. That's bottom line. And the only reason why this is even happening is because they probably looked at some paperwork and said, hey, Morris Day does not own that name, The Time. Prince owns it. We should be getting a check from him. That's basically what's happening. And they probably contacted him and said, we need a check from you because you're performing under The Time, and The Time is owned by Prince Estate. And you've been performing all these years, and we ain't got no money from you, and we want some money. So it's all greed. It's driven by greed. When we all know that Prince never ever asked Morris Day for any money. He always let him feed his family under that name, The Time and Morris Day. Even when Prince, and him weren't even on great terms, Prince had never ever stopped him from eating. Never. So now the Prince estate, and I've battled with people online and people in the film groups that I'm in, and they're like, oh, it's business, and this is that, and Morris should have had his business right, and blah blah blah. I'm like, look, this is not just about business. Yes, to them it is. But if you call yourself you are the estate of Prince, wouldn't it be somewhat right to kind of make decisions that you think Prince might have made as far as something like this? If it's other things, okay. If it's just straightforward court type of stuff, that's different. But if it is, when it comes to dealing with stuff like this, that's the same thing as, Sheila E., that's her name, Sheila Esposito, whatever. But it's just like if they decide to contact Sheila E., they want to contact Sheila E. and say you can no longer, do the glamorous life because, Prince wrote it, and he owns the whatever, the master copyrights to it, Yeah, Kev, you're coming through very robotic. You sound like a transformer right now, Kev. Coming through.
Even on the same bill, separate show.
Okay, now it's trying to come through. I'm not sure where you are, but your reception is really bad. So I just put Kev in the green room. Kev, if you can hear me, your sound is you sound like a transformer. It's very, very bad. I don't know if you're in a bad area or there's some storming or something going on, but you sound very robotic at the moment. So that's why I put you in the green room. I'm going to bring you back in a second just to see if it sounds better. Because I don't, it's just really, it just sounds bad. But let's see if we can get you back in. Oh, you're going to come back on. That's cool. Well, we only have about 5 minutes left anyway before the show ends. Joseph, I've been looking at all the stuff you've been putting in there. You've been putting in the top What is this? Here's his Mount Rushmore movies top plus. Here are my top 4 Mount Rushmore movies for St. Patrick's Day. And he has Walt Disney Pictures right here. Darby Gill and the Little People. He also put up Boondock Saints. Yes, I love that. The Quiet Man. That was actually a good film too. Cool. That sounds good, man. Starting at when he said here, Gangs of New York, of course. Yes, yes. Wait a second. Gangs of New York, 2022. Wait a minute. That can't be. There ain't no Gangs of New York in 2022. Let's see if Kev is back.
Apollonia, give her name back.
Kev can,
stuff with her. Same thing.
yeah, he's still he's still transforming over there, so it's all good. We'll we only got 4 minutes left to we end the show. So I just wanted to kind of wrap this up by saying, sometimes, and maybe that's why I'm not a super billion gazillionaire, because I, tend to do business with some sort of integrity. And, there's no way that if I'm, I was the executor of my father's estate when he passed away. And, there's no way that I would not make a decision that I thought my father would want or would have made. Like I pretty much was like the power of attorney or executive estate, whatever you want to call it. So that would be, to me, that's the equivalent of me, let's just say if there's something due to one of my siblings or whatever, because of my father, I'm going to give myself more money than I give my brother, because that's just good business. It don't make sense to me. Like, I'm gonna make a decision that I thought my father would have made, And I think in this case, when you talk about someone who was friends with Prince from elementary school, I think, or middle school, or something like that, they've been friends for years. They made, like he said, they came up with that name and everything together. And yeah, Prince did own the name, but how about just stop being greedy and ask yourself, for once in your life, ask yourself, what would Prince do? What would Prince do? That's what I would ask. Kev, I don't know if your mic is back or I just brought you back in just to see if it works. And it is not still working. So on that note, we're going to we got 2 minutes anyway before we end the show. We want to thank Nana for coming on. I'd like her to come back when she has her music set up and stuff like that. Joseph, thank you for always holding down the chat room. Everyone else who might have popped in the chat room said, what's up? If I missed you, I apologize. We will definitely, I don't know how I got knocked off there, but we will definitely see you next Monday. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with your friends. Subscribe to the channel, of course, and check us out every Monday here on YouTube and on the IE network. Real Talk, and we'll check with y'all next week. Peace out, everybody. You can like us, you can love us, but don't forget about us. Peace. We're out.